Good morning. Phil Fisher here, the mayor of Clinton. This is our quarterly talk that we have, and today, instead of just me talking about things going on in the city, I brought in our Parks and Rec Director, Adam Wade, and I brought in our Public Works Director, Dexter Shelby. So they'll be talking about things. So if you have questions that pop in your mind or things you want to know about, please text us or email us.
In the thread.
And let us know it's in the thread, where to get in touch with us. And we can answer those questions for you also. Have a little pity today for Dexter. He got swarmed by a bunch of wasps on Wednesday. He got 17 stings that he knows of. And I don't know if it's a reaction to his medicine, but he seems to have the hiccups today. So go easy on him if you can. But Dexter, let's start talking a little bit about, we just completed our paving program. Let's talk about next steps.
Yes, sir. Paving program's finished up. We are now looking to use the leftover money we had from our paving budget this year to do some striping. We've had a few calls, a few emails about some striping that needs to be done in town. We're going to go out to bid for that striping. We do have those streets that we think we're going to go and get. We're going to go out to bid for those. Once those bids come back, we'll try to take that money that was left over and get those streets done as far as striping goes. We do try to add that in the project when we do pave streets, but sometimes like this time we have a little money left over and we're going to take that and put towards striping that wasn't a part of the 2020 project.
Let me just talk a little bit about the value of how we do things here in the town. As far as your money's concerned, the striping that was in the budget to do was done at the beginning. They were on different streets than what were being paid. Then we had $50,000 left over. The striping company wanted $8,500 to mobilize and come back, which would have been, a huge percent of that striping money. So instead of doing that, we're just going to go back out for bid and bring the low bid in and let them do the street paving instead of paying, $8,500 for them to mobilize to come over here and waste that money that would have been spent. So
Right, so we'll get more striping out of that money, more bang for our buck. We're also working Magnolia Road right now. The northbound lane is closed. They're reconstructing the entire road, but the northbound lane is closed right now. They've already done the 2 cross drains. They're doing the water connections as well that they're going to have to relocate. So that's finally up and moving. That's a big project for us, something we've been waiting on a while. And a lot of people are excited about that, so that's moving along fine. Midway Road, we're getting some questions about Midway Road Bridge. The city had budgeted to do Midway Road Bridge in the fiscal year 2021, which starts in October. Unfortunately, the state came in and inspected the bridge again and closed it down. We weren't expecting it to be closed. We did some work about 3 years ago on that bridge to try to carry us over into 2021. Unfortunately, it didn't work, so the state shut us down. But we are in the planning process with MDOT to get that bridge reopened and reworked or rebuilt. That's what I should say. We're going to rebuild it. We're going to go out to bid for this as soon as we can in 2021 fiscal year.
Yeah, the city allocated in this budget, the 2021 budget, $138,188 is our portion to assure that we would have our money available so that we could start this as quickly as possible.
Right. So as soon as we can get going on that, like I said, as soon as the budget starts in October, we're going to try to go out to bid. We go out to bid, get the contractor and get that bridge rebuilt. Shouldn't be too much longer, so you guys just be patient with us on that. Other things going on in town, sidewalks. We're redoing some sidewalks. We got a crew out in Oakhurst right now today doing a sidewalk. Once they finish Oakhurst, they'll go to Old Vicksburg Road. There's a section we have that's kind of on a slant. The grade of the ditches has fallen out, so we're going to pick the ditch back up, rework the sidewalk there on Old Vicksburg and other areas in the city. If you guys continue to let us know where you've got bad sidewalks or areas that could be trip hazard or hazardous to people that as they walk, we want to know so we can get those done. Got anything on that?
No, I think that it's a project citywide. The sidewalks that are there are the city's responsibility, and they need to be reworked, and we realize that. And so we're working in that direction to check every sidewalk in town to make sure they're all walkable and or people in chairs can use them, wheelchairs can use them to make sure that that they can also get around. So be patient with us in one sense, but if you see an issue, please let us know so that we can go out and address that quickly.
Absolutely. You can always let us know online. There's a form you can fill out on our website where you can get a work order in. You can always call our office at 601-924-2239, or just let us know the best you can, and we'll get there. And as soon as we get it, we do put the work orders in. We try to get to you as soon as we can. What else did I have on my list?
Well, we can talk for a second, if you would, about loops.
Okay, yes,
Explain what a loop is and how it affects everything that goes on with the stoplights in town.
yes, sir. Loops have been an issue for us around town for a little while. We started cutting loops on Wednesday. A loop is an inductive thing. It creates a magnetic field and sends a signal to the cabinet. It tells the cabinet that your car is out in the street. And once it recognizes your car in the order that you came in, you get the light. Well, when the loops don't work or they're not working like they should, it goes into what's called a default mode, and everybody gets a light. So whether the car is there or not, it'll just go in a sequence to give every phase a light. Well, we're going around replacing loops right now so that we can speed up or better control our traffic on Highway 80 and Spring Ridge Road, our main corridors through town. That way, when you pull up to the light, you'll get a light when you need it and not when you don't need it, or you see a light on and no car is there. So we are working those. We started on Wednesday. We'll pick back up next week on those, trying to get that list taken care of. And that's going to speed traffic up, make it flow better, be a better ride through town for everyone. And you won't have those people getting a light when there's a ghost car there. I get calls about ghost cars all the time. So we don't have ghosts. It's just the way it works in the default mode to allow everybody to get a light when the loop's not working, excuse me.
How long does it take to repair each loop? And sort of what do you do to do that?
Yes, sir.
What's the process?
We work with Capital Concrete right now because we don't have a concrete saw or an asphalt saw to cut the asphalt. What has to happen is that you cut the asphalt about 2 inches deep. And you take a piece of copper wire and you lay it in that cut. And that's what creates the magnetic field when your car goes over the top. But you cut it, you put the wire in, then you seal it. You have to get a loop seal and seal it down, make sure it packs in the ground good. Then you tie it into a detector, and that's where the signal goes in the cabinet. So it takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours to really cut one. We cut 20 by 30s. I'm sorry, 10 by 30s, 10 foot wide, 30 foot long. And that catches 1 or 2 cars, and it just depends on where you are. But we want to catch as many cars as we can in that loop so you can be serviced the way you want to be serviced. So it takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours to do one. We work with, like I said, Capital Concrete to get those cut right now. So just be patient with us as we do that. If you see us on the road trying to drive around us, we're just trying to make sure we get you guys fed up as you're riding through town.
As you complete a loop, does it start functioning then, or do you have to do them all and then they all start at once?
When we cut them, we tie them right back in to the detector, so it should pick up and get back working right then. So they have been cut. We did cut some on Wednesday. They've been tied back in. And like I said, we'll start back next week with Capital Concrete trying to finish out that list that we had.
Okay. And water tanks. We have one water tank, I believe, left in the city to redo that's set for this year also.
Yes, sir. We got one more. It's the movie theater tank or the one behind Pine Lake. It's in the woods. A lot of people don't see it because it's right off 20, but you can look for it. That one's going to be redone. We're going to get some interesting paint on that one as well. I'm not sure if you all know, but we won. We ranked national in the nation, number 2 in the nation, with our black water tank. So we're going to try to do something fun with this one as well. Maybe we'll get some notoriety with this one. But we're excited about that. Last one to get done. Water system is doing great. We're still a grade A water system. So we're excited about that as well.
You had mentioned street paving, and we've completed it for this year. We've got $1 million in the budget coming up next year for street paving. Just a quick note, everybody I know wants their street paved. The policy that we've used in the city is that we pave from worst to best. So if you don't get your street paved, it means somebody else's street is worse than yours. We will let that probably in the spring.
Yes, sir.
Normally we do that?
Yes, sir.
And do that in that spring season. So let me make 2 points here real quick. First, if the next board, this board has received $354,000 from the legislature. This is money that was given to us from the state infrastructure plan that Speaker Gunn wrote the legislation for and led the fight to get municipalities this money. So every city in the state benefits from this. In the next 2 years, we will receive a total of $354,000 more dollars for a total of $708,000, which is our allotment. If the next board continues to add to that $100,000 a year, That should put you at about $1.67 million, $1,677,000 at the end of 2025 for infrastructure and continuing to care for our streets. So we're real proud of that. We're proud that we got up to $1 million this year, and we're proud that we have have the opportunity now to continue to grow that if the next board that you elect chooses to do so. I know Arrow Drive's on a lot of people's minds. I'm going to talk about that for a second. Arrow Drive is certainly messed up, no doubt, and we know it. The issue is we need to get the construction at the high school and the other schools completed before we go back and repave Arrow Drive. I understand that the work at the high school will be through this fall. The other work, I think, will be in midwinter to early spring, is what I understand right now. We're going to try to time our paving so that after the school work is complete on Arrow Drive, we can come back in and then pave it. I don't want to pave it now and then have construction trucks, cranes, dump trucks, things of that nature running on it. They will tear it up quickly, and we just need to make sure that we give the road the best opportunity to last as long as we possibly can. So that's sort of the plan there. Just let the schools get through, and then we will start with a paving program there to take care of Arrow Drive. So at this point, you got anything else you want to add?
No, sir. If you got questions, just like you said, chime in on the thread and we'll go from there.
Okay, let's talk Parks and Rec for a minute. Adam is our Parks and Rec director. He's done an excellent job, and we're doing a reorganization at Parks and Rec this year that we started. So, Adam, if you'd like to talk about that a little bit and what the benefits of that will be.
Absolutely, yep. So we will be separating our Parks and Recreation Department truly into a Parks Division and a Recreation Division. And we will be heading that up. Colby Berry, our current Assistant Director, will become our Deputy Director of Parks. So he will be over all parks. So when we say all parks, what we're looking at here is everything outside of Traceway Park. For a long time, Traceway Park has just gotten a lot of attention, and deservingly so, because a lot of people use Traceway Park and a lot of people visit Clinton to come see Traceway Park. And we're not going to not be taking care of Traceway Park in the future, but what we also want to do is to be able to make sure we're taking care of all of our parks the same. So if you're going to Brighton Park, if you're going to Robinson Park or Northside Park, any of the parks in town, we want to make sure that you have the same quality experience at that park, and it's getting shown the same attention as what you would do if you're going to Traceway Park here. So Colby will be taking over the Parks Division, and with his crew, they will be out every day in all of our parks. We'll be touching every one of our parks every single day to check to see if anything has been broken, or see if there's any repairs with anything, or see if there's any maintenance items that we need to start budgeting for in the future so we can get on top of things before they break in the future. So Colby will be heading that side of our department up. We're excited about that. We're excited to be able to really spend more time in our, what we call our outside parks, outside of our office, and to be able to give that same quality experience for somebody going to every park in Clinton. Now this past year with the addition of Lions Club Park, and we also took over the maintenance and the taking care of Town Spring Park this past year. With that, it added more to our plates. We knew that we had to have somebody out there taking care of things all the time. Our goal is to be able to catch things before people have to call the mayor's office or other places so that we can get on top of things. But there are things that always slip through the crack, and we can't catch everything. So if you see something on one of these parks that needs to be fixed or needs to be addressed, please call our office at 601-924-6082, and we'll direct that to our Parks Division so that we can get these things taken care of. On the other side of that is our Recreation Department, which includes all of our youth sports and all of the programming that we do in town, mainly the things that are going on at Traceway Park. Courtney Nunn, who is currently our sports director, will move into a recreation director role with us, and she will be taking over that section of our department. And with that, she will be taking care of all schedules. She will be in communication with all of our youth associations that work with us to provide youth sports in town, over all of our tennis and everything else that we have going on in town. So she'll be she'll be making sure everything on that end is done and that nothing is being missed. A big thing is whenever somebody schedules a field or whenever we have a tournament or anything, whether it's a rec game on a weeknight or a tournament on the weekend, we want to make sure that everything is done and everything's done correctly. All the fields are at the right distances, and whenever somebody comes into our park, they know that everything's going to be correct. And that's what Courtney will be over. She'll be over making sure all those things are done in constant communication with our maintenance division, just making sure that everything that has to be done and ready for weeknights and for tournaments on weekends is done and ready to go.
Well, you had an exciting interview this morning with Channel 12, and I'm sure it'll be on soon. Talk a little bit about what y'all were talking about and where you think it's going to go.
Yeah, another exciting part of what will be under Courtney's peer review is our Arrowhead Archery Range. So, like the mayor said, we just met with WJTV and we're having these interviews throughout the next week. We will be opening Arrowhead Archery Range next Wednesday, September the 9th. We'll have a ribbon cutting at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then from there we will open the range with targets and everything out. So with this range, there is a 15 by 150 feet covered range for citizens to come out and enjoy, so you can get out of the sunshine. I was just out there just a minute ago doing an interview, and it's a lot cooler under the canopy than it is standing out in the sun. So there's a place there, a covered area with concrete pad that you can go shoot at targets. We'll have targets laid out. We will also have a 3D range going into the woods right beside the archery range, the covered range that's out there right now. This is something that we're really excited about. There's nothing like this in central Mississippi. There's really nothing that's going to compare to it in the state of Mississippi, and it's really just the beginning of what we hope to do at the archery range. We've got a great partnership with our local schools and with Mississippi College to where they have been helping us out in this project, and we hope to bring college tournaments, high school tournaments and the likes to Clinton for people to come spend their time. Archery is one of the fastest growing sports in the country right now. There's over 8,000 archers in Mississippi high schools right now. We've been in constant communication with the guy that leads that program to help get his advisement on what we should do for this. So we're excited to tap into something that's not really been tapped into in the state of Mississippi and to bring people to Clinton. We'll have memberships available for the archery range. We'll have daily memberships, and we also have annual memberships is what we encourage people to go and purchase. An individual membership will be $50, and then a family membership will be $75. Eventually, here in the near future, we hope to have that as an online process, but that's going to be October before we get to that. But you can come to our office and purchase a membership for Arrowhead Archery Range beginning on Wednesday and come out and shoot. You will need a membership to be able to come out there and shoot. One of the main reasons we do that is we want to make sure that everybody understands the rules and the safety of the archery range. We want to make sure everybody that's out there shooting has a membership and they know that how we're supposed to operate here at Arrowhead Archery. So if you want to go to arrowheadarcheryrange.com, our website is being set up and there's information there to look at archery range.
You know, special thanks on that too to Jim Turcotte at the college. Jim was really a moving force behind this, and he's done an excellent job helping us getting the right people involved in this project. I'm very excited about it because it's going to bring a lot of people to Clinton. These tournaments, you know, you'll bring 500 to 1,000 people in town whenever you have a tournament or a meet, whatever the proper terminology is. We'll learn that too. But I think it's important to know that when we bring people into town, it helps our economic outlook on things as we move forward. People have got to eat, they've got to stay. Some of them may want to stay overnight, so there's a lot of potential there. But I think being the first to do anything is always a goal that I like to have and try to meet. And being the one that answers this need makes us the go-to place. And opening it now is just prior to hunting season. And so all the archers who need a little practice there to get ready for bow season can certainly come out and use the facility. We are charging for that, but you know, this is going to be a high replacement of targets. There's a cost there that we want to absorb and have the archery range pay for itself as we go through. So that's where any of the memberships will be used specifically to make improvements to the archery range and to the 3D range when we get it going for the future. So that's a really exciting possibility. We've had a lot of parks that we've done in the last year that we've had some redos on. Maybe if you can talk about that, and then we're working towards a redo of Robinson Park this year. If you could cover that one for us.
Yeah, it's a lot to talk about. It's been a busy year in the Parks Department, which is good for us. But we'll start first of all. I think everybody knows about Lions Club Park. It was a great project. You can't drive by Lions Club Park and not see somebody out there, kids playing, or somebody just sitting under the pavilion enjoying the day. I think that's a great addition to our downtown area to get people downtown. We opened that park in May of this year, and we're super excited about that and the excitement that it's bringing to our city. We also, at the same time, we rebuilt Kidstown Playground. Kidstown Playground, as we've discussed before, was over 25 years old and had seen its better days. The wood structure was just not safe for kids anymore. So we went in, and it was a unique project for us as a city, as we were hands in hand building that project together, where normally we would contract that out to somebody to do it all, and all we do is come in and just enjoy it after. So our department got in for about 2.5 weeks with another local company and helped to build that facility. And I think it's something to really be proud of. It's a great place, a park that has had many memories for many years, and now it'll continue to have greater memories, but now it will be safe for kids to be out there having those memories. So that's something we're really excited about. We also made a lot of improvements this past year to Traceway Park, as our ball fields, our baseball and softball fields in particular. They draw a lot of people to the city of Clinton, and a lot of our citizens use those facilities. So we redid all of our backstops and all of our fencing at our baseball and softball fields, completed that project at the end of April, right in the middle of Corona. And then as soon as we were able to open up and start bringing people to Clinton, we did that. We hosted a tournament every weekend in June, a couple in July, and we're about to get kicked back up starting this weekend, hosting tournaments again for the fall out there. So that's a great investment for the city, to where it brings people to the city of Clinton, and then also gives the people that are citizens of Clinton a place to be proud of, for their kid to come out and play it on weeknights. Something that seems like it was years ago, but we opened the Bark Park in 2019, in October of 2019, and that's been a really exciting thing in Clinton. It's another one of those things that we talk about, that we try and fit these niches that nobody else is doing. We don't want to just do what everybody else is doing in the state or central Mississippi. And it's a great dog park for your animal to come out. It's about a 2-acre dog park. So if you haven't seen that yet, come check that out. We've had a lot of positive reviews coming out of the dog park. To go along with those, we are also updating some of our restroom facilities. At Robinson Park and Northside Park, we are building restrooms that we hope to have open in the next week or so. They are really, really close on getting those finished and opened. So at these parks where normally we had porta johns, they will have permanent restrooms at those facilities. I don't think anybody has ever had an enjoyable experience in a porta john, so we're excited to add full-time restrooms there. And also at Robinson Park this past year, we added a new playground to Robinson Park the same time we did the one at Kidstown. The old dilapidated playground we had there had seen its better days. So now we have a new playground there that's double the size. We have one specifically for 2 to 5-year-olds, and then the other one is for 6 to 13-year-olds. So if you haven't been out to that park to check out that playground, it's really a great place for you and your kids to go and enjoy an afternoon. Both of those playgrounds have shade structures on the top of them, so whenever the sun's at high noon, it's a good place to go and spend some time with your family. Speaking of Robinson Park, we are in the process of working on a master plan. This past year, we've been working on a master plan with some input from the community around Robinson Park to talk about where we want to see that park go in the future. We've developed that master plan, and we're in the process now of working to find the money to help pay for that, to upgrade that park. So.
Just quick on the bathrooms and the facilities. All those are going to have door locks that will lock at a certain time, and cameras to prevent thieves and people who want to destroy property from coming in after hours and doing so. So just know that if you have ill intent, We've got cameras outside the restrooms looking at you, and we're going to be able to run you down. Robinson Park and walking trails are going to be our big park emphasis this year. We've got $280,000 budgeted toward Robinson Park to get some other things done. A total of that park will run in the $1 million range when we're through, because we're going to redo walking trails. The basketball court will be repainted. We're going to put in a senior citizen exercise area, another pavilion. There's a lot of things, wiffle ball field. So there's a lot of things that are going to be going on out there that will be exciting. The walking trails, we're doing phase one right now. We have it's $188,000 set up for phase one, which will be, well, we're not doing it now. We have to wait till the budget year starts. But we will asphalt that walking trail there behind the schools that we have in the plans. I'm actually looking, by the way, at, instead of asphalting, maybe asphalting 4 feet and then having another 4 feet being gravel so that you can walk or run and stay off the asphalt if you choose. We'll need to talk about that. But anyway, and then the walking trail is going to run from the Natchez Trace all the way to Traceway Park down Arrow Drive. That will go to bid in March, and that'll be phase two. Once we get those complete, we have a plan that will bring the walking trails from Brighton Park all the way down to Butts Park, around behind the neighborhoods. There'll be a lot of easements we're going to have to work on there. That's going to take a little bit more time, but we are working on that. And when we're through, we'll have a walking trail, a biking trail, strolling trail for baby strollers of approximately 15.2 miles one way. And then from that spine, other neighborhoods, we'll start feeding them in over time so that everybody can reach that major spine there as it runs down through there. So a lot of work will be done in Parks and Rec. Another thing this budget does is it takes the 3% hotel tax, and we start the process of moving the monies that we spend in the 3% hotel tax for day-to-day operations and salaries, moving it to the general fund. We're doing it 25% at a time, so this is the first year of it. Freeing up money so that Parks and Rec will get 1% of that sales tax or that tourism tax, and they can then use that for maintenance and improvements to I guess, keep fences up and things of that nature as you go through. We're estimating now it's about $100,000 that would be used for maintenance in the park every year that we don't have in the budget now. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, and the way that we're gonna look at it is, first of all, we're gonna try and fix any issues that we have currently presenting us. But then in things where playgrounds get run down and things like that, where we don't have to go to the board and make a big elaborate push for, hopefully we can update these parks as we go throughout the years, or if there's concession stand repairs or things like that that need to be done, we don't have to go searching for certain monies out there that just to be able to fix a concession stand. So that, you know, that's something that's really, or a restroom, that's something that's, you don't think about a lot until you get out there and you have to use one. You want to have a nice restroom there at your park. Doesn't matter what it looks like if somebody walks in a restroom and it doesn't look, it's not very clean in there. So, well, we're hoping to be able to fix things as we go and not have to come out and make these big pushes every couple of years to try and get caught up. We're hoping things can just stay up to par.
Okay. Any other things that y'all have that you want to talk about or mention? Or Mark, have we had any input or questions from anybody?
No questions. Mostly comments. Again, thanking us. A couple of the comments thanking us for Magnolia Road, and appreciative of that long overdue process.
You know, and Magnolia Road's a good example of these two departments working together. The dirt from Magnolia Road that's being excavated as we speak is going to be taken to Traceway Park and used as a backstop at the archery range. So
It's been done all day today.
so it's already going, huh? Good.
So we try to do the best with the city's money, as we talk about. We always want to be good stewards of what you guys pay as taxpayers. Of course, we live here as well. We're taxpayers too. We just want to be good stewards of the things we had. So instead of letting that dirt leave our town, we found a place to use that dirt. That was a good idea.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, thoughts, or comments you'd like to email Mark after we're through here, please do. We'll get you an answer. We appreciate you listening in today. As I said, we're splitting this quarterly talk up, so next week, we're gonna have the police chief come in and the economic development director come in and talk. And so if you have any questions, you can start emailing those to Mark also. So thank y'all for listening in.